Children's charities have rounded on Michael Jackson today for admitting in last night's ITV1 documentary that he sleeps with children in his room. They say if that happened here, the social services would be called in. In the United States, the authorities there say they'll be investigating, as Colin Baker reports.
It doesn't matter how rich or how adored or how famous, even an icon has to toe the line. The view of most child welfare experts this evening, who were especially concerned by Michael Jackson's revealing view of his complex relationship with children.
Thinking about adopting 2 kids from each continent around the world.
I remember.
God knows in my heart how much I adore children. No, I am Peter Pan.
It's not just the presence of children on Jackson's Californian estate which provokes concern, but the fact that many children sleep over in his bedroom, with Jackson also there. While it's accepted that Jackson was deprived of a normal childhood by touring and recording, his closeness to minors has left him vulnerable. His own judgment on these relationships is highly questionable.
Whenever kids come here, they always want to stay with me. They never want to stand together. And I have never invited them in my room. They always just want to stay. They say, "Can I stay with you tonight?" I go, "If it's okay with your parents, yes, you can."
The sorts of things that Jackson says are rather like the defences that are used by paedophile men. In particular, the one that it is the children who seduce me. I don't seduce them. Now, it's not to say that Jackson is a child molester, but it's a little disconcerting how reminiscent that phrase is.
Wow. Jackson seemed preoccupied with masks. His children never leave home without them.
Those little faces behind those masks, with those eyes looking out, you just thought, what is going on in their heads? How are they going to grow up? He makes Howard Hughes look sane.
Blanket, blanket, blanket. I love you, blanket.
His treatment of the baby's son he called Blanket horrified some. The constant shaking of the child while trying to feed it, the infant's obvious discomfort with his face covered for whatever reason.
What it appears is that he's actually abusing his own children by using them as just objects. And that's sad, and I'm sure, if he would hate to think that he was doing that. But in effect, that is what he's doing.
Jackson's adoring fans see no wrong in their hero, but it's the police and child welfare authorities he may one day have to convince. Colin Baker, ITV News.
Living with Michael Jackson will be shown in America on Thursday, but the fallout from the program has already begun there. Our correspondent Romilly Weeks is in Los Angeles tonight. Romilly, are the American authorities saying anything at all about those revelations in the program?
Well, the district attorney's office, which investigated Michael Jackson 10 years ago over allegations of sexual abuse with a boy called Jordan Chandler, have said that they will be watching this documentary very closely. I've also spoken to one of the lawyers who actually represented Jordan Chandler, and she said that she's so disturbed by what Jackson has said that she's writing to the Child Protection Services, including a transcript of the documentary, and asking them to investigate.
Is there any sort of general feeling that he may have landed himself in deep trouble here or not?
Well, absolutely there is. The documentary hasn't even aired here yet, and already it's creating disastrous headlines for Jackson. One showbiz reporter that I spoke to said that it's hard to believe that he's managed to further tarnish his image.
Well, Michael Jackson, career-wise, personally and professionally, has really become the punchline of a lot of jokes here. So in that regard, this isn't really particularly shocking to American audiences. It's always been the joke, and ever since the allegations happened years ago and his career started going downward, that he just isn't what he used to be anymore, and he's a little bit of a freak.
Do we know, Romilly, finally where he is tonight?
Well, it's thought that he's still at his Neverland ranch in California. He's made no further comment, which, considering the seriousness of the situation, is probably his best course of action at this moment.
Romilly Weeks, thank you. Welcome back. People in America are heading home tonight to see for themselves that ITV documentary about Michael Jackson. Rumors about what's in it have set America buzzing. The program has upset the singer himself, although some supporters have been springing to his defense. From Los Angeles, Romilly Weeks reports.
It's Michael Jackson. What happens when you spend 8 months with Michael Jackson?
Oh, boy.
Tonight at 8, 7 Central on ABC. See for yourself.
The build-up to the documentary is in overdrive. This, a program that'll be watched by
The
millions.
most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone. It's not sexual.
To his own.
Now it seems Michael Jackson has belatedly realized the impact of comments like that and is fighting to save his image. In a statement he says, "Today I feel more betrayed than perhaps ever before, that someone who had got to know my children, my staff and me, whom I let into my heart and told the truth, could then sacrifice the trust I've placed in him and produce this terrible and unfair program." His friends too are coming to his aid, including the mother of his elder children.
He's a really wonderful, loving, caring man. And he's not portrayed as he really is. And it really pisses me off. There could be no other person that could be a better father.
The program's makers have released their own statement saying there's been no distortion, misrepresentation or breach of trust. Martin Bashir agreed with Michael that we'd make an honest film about his life, and we fulfilled that promise. The documentary has got everybody talking in Hollywood. Celebrity interviewer Jeannie Wolfe told me she's been aware for some time that Michael Jackson had become very isolated.
Now I think some of the people who have been the most staunch and loyal supporters of his over the years are whispering off the record that they can't reach Michael physically, they can't get him on the phone, they can't get his attention, and that when they do, they can't reach him mentally. The quote that I was given is, "Michael isn't listening to anybody anymore."
When Living with Michael Jackson airs this evening, these streets are going to be deserted. Fans and critics alike are saying they're going to be staying in to watch the program. With his reputation in America very much at stake, for Michael Jackson, it must be a nervous wait. Romilly Weeks, ITV News in Los Angeles.